Greetings, y'all. This is Drew out here again at my new aquaponic greenhouse that I've been building all summer. Basically with a lot of breaks. We took a trip and I have a lot of work outside of my love project here that has been distracting me. So here we are on Labor Day with an update. Since the last time I did an update, I had basically talked about the boxes and I finished those out. So these boxes are going to be a thermal battery. I'm going to go over that real quick. And first of all, just give you like a view of the greenhouse framing with in its finished state. A little better camera now so I can see what I'm doing, see what I'm showing you. And these are the boxes. So what happens is that when you have the greenhouse effect in general, you have a ton of heat being generated. And making a greenhouse successful is all about managing that thermal energy. If you let it get too hot inside, you're just going to cook your plants and kill them all. If you allow too much heat to escape and you need to keep heat, then you have plants not able to grow in the winter. So we want to make a 365 day operation out of this, all 4 seasons. And so managing the heat is a big part of it. So this box is going to be a raftway. And this raftway only needs to be a foot deep. So since it's 30 inches deep instead, the bottom 20 inches or so, as you can see that kind of marker there between those 2 lines, is going to be all full of rocks. So the rocks have been a little hard to get, but I'm working on it. People just need to dump concrete or calling me, but the timing has been off so far. And it's all going to be filled with rocks up to here. And these rocks are going to basically be a thermal battery. What's going to happen is I'm going to have bathroom vents all up through the rafters, just like, a couple inputs. The bathroom vent is going to be here and just bringing air over here, then down here. The fan itself might be down in here, and then it's going to pump the air through a hole through this spot. It's going to come out into these rocks. Of course, the water is going to be on top, so it's going to seal the top of it. And so there's going to be a nice bin full of rocks all the way across. And then it comes out to the end, and this end is just going to vent out here into the walkway of the greenhouse, and they just come up. So the air will be circulating from top to bottom and across and then back. So it has this nice circular path on this side. Same thing on this side. It's the exact same. There'll be 2 bathroom fans, and they'll push the air all the way across on both sides. So what that'll do is in the wintertime, when the heat is being generated during the day, it's going to be more than enough thermal energy that it needs for the overall air. And that air pumping through the rocks is going to heat up the rocks. And then as that fan continues to run at night, it's going to stay a good 60-70 degrees inside the greenhouse even at night and just be a perfect balance. So gives you 365 benefit. So we've been talking about digging ditches and putting in plumbing. That's the next big part of the job that I'm doing now. Before I get into that, I just want to finish one little framing spot. In order to make everything work, I just had to put some spreader wood here so that the pressure from the water isn't going to push and bow in these walls or bow out the outer walls. It's going to keep them all together. So that's there for that. And for extra strength on my main supporting doorposts, as you can see here, doorpost, boom, holds the middle beam up, and at both sides of the doorpost it comes down, and it would be rickety-rockety if it weren't for a little diagonal beam right here. So this makes my whole setup super solid. I'm pushing the thing and I don't get any rocking. This is a really solid structure from a guy that's not a framer. I'm not a construction guy. I come from a family of engineers, so I think probably in a way that helps me with this, but I have no professional expertise in this at all. I'm saying this to tell you that you can do this too. If I can do it, you can do it. You can follow my pattern. You can follow patterns you'll find online. But building a structure in your backyard is going to be a big step. I don't know how big compared to other steps, because it's the only step I've actually completed. But it's essential. obviously that you have a good structure that you can control the temperature in. I have seen some other aquaponic systems, and people have had just bad results because they have no roof over their head to protect the plants from being beat by the rain, and they have no thermal energy control, so they're subject to whatever's coming and going in this seasonally, and so they struggle. So I want to make sure that we're doing it right from scratch. I got a great consultant helping me, and this is the spirit of these videos, is to kind of give you everything as I'm learning it, so you can just kind of go, okay, I'm going to follow a path of learning it doesn't require me to be an expert going in. That's the whole point of this video, or this video series. So okay, so those are my supports. So you'll see there's 3 spreaders on this side and 2 beam supporters or doorpost supporters, this side and this side also. Sorry, this is probably going to look really upside down. So now, plumbing. Down in this little section here, this is the only part that's not in the raftway. It's like a little box, basically. And I'm having it turns out I have some water pressure that feeds a sprinkler system that comes down to here. And that just comes across the yard and down here. So I have to put a T-square here and a valve, get a 3/4 inch pipe, sprinkler pipe coming across. There's some sprinkler wires hanging around. I'm really happy I didn't cut those by accident earlier. And then it's going to plumb into here. So I'll have water pressure into the greenhouse as I need it. I probably will never actually need it in the greenhouse, but I want to have it, and my little valve box will be here where I can do all sorts of things. So I'm going to be cutting, digging a ditch from here now right across into the garage. And that's going to be where my fish tanks are. My fish tanks are right in the garage. I'm going to be renting a jackhammer to kick some concrete out of the way and putting in some 1-inch pipe between these 2 sections here. And that's going to allow the water from the fish tanks to go into gravel beds here that are going to be in the first section. It's going to cleanse the water, and then it's going to be a little higher than the raftways, and that drains out into the raftways. There'll be a connecting pipe on that far end that goes under the ground. So the water from this raftway will overflow into that raftway. This is the very bottom sump here, essentially going around this horseshoe kind of idea. And then there's going to be a pipe under here. It's going to come back here, go back into the garage. Okay? So that's the route, basically. There's going to be fish tanks, gravel beds. The top end of the fish tank will be higher than the gravel bed, obviously. Then I'll just gravity flow into the gravel bed, gravity flow into the sump, come back, and get pumped back into the fish tank. So there's nothing really to see in the garage right now. I'm going to build the fish tanks out of a closet that's in there. I won't need to buy any IBC totes, which are usually used because they have a nice little boxed-in frame. I can just use pond lining, plastic inside a framed-in box, so it's a nice little setup. And that's the next step of our big project. I don't have a name for the company yet, or anything to call it. I said the Big Aquaponics project, whatever that means. It's big for a little backyard, let's put it that way, but it's all going to be small, manageable, family-friendly, and hopefully farmer market-friendly as well in the future. You have a great and blessed day. Remember, Jesus is the one that makes the sun shine on the righteous and unrighteous. He allows the fields to grow, and He allows us to create wealth. He gives us power to create wealth. And that's exactly what this is about, creating fish wealth in the garage, creating plant wealth in the yard, and letting Him make the increase happen. All we're doing is managing it as we've been given dominion to do so, and letting science and nature be in harmony so that people can live a sustainable lifestyle in their own backyards. You have a great and wonderful and blessed day.